Don, we have a little bit of breaking news here about that very thing because Harvey Levin, he's the founder of TMZ. That's who obtained this elevator video, and they are just announcing tonight that tomorrow morning they say that they're going to release a bombshell. They claim that they have evidence that the NFL did know about this elevator video and that they did see this elevator video. Judge Mathis, I want to bring you in. If that's true, what happens to Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL?
Well, if he knew of it, I think that he's part of this, what some might refer to as a cover-up, or trying to minimize the damage that was done both to this woman and that we know that the NFL would need to have addressed, covering it up for the benefit of the NFL, for the benefit of one of its players. But in addition to that, we're talking about responsibility. I haven't heard much responsibility attributed to the prosecutor in this case. And the court, you know, after all, he received a smack on the wrist. And did they see the video? Or is it enough of evidence that what they did see should have resulted in more harsh punishment rather than this smack on the wrist plea bargain?
Okay. Like
well, here's what they said. The league said, the league said, I want to get the league statement in here because I think it's important since we're saying TMZ is going to say that the league knew about this. They said, we requested from law enforcement any and all information about the incident, including the video from inside the elevator. That video was not made available to us, and no one in our office has seen it until today. So if indeed this comes out, again, it is a bombshell, as Allison said, as Harvey Levin is going to say tomorrow. But what might be the evidence that they saw it? Is it evidence from law enforcement? I mean, Judge, what can make a difference in this particular instance?
Well, if you have testimony from an insider, from the NFL office, someone else in the league, perhaps some communications that has been established through email. We know how emails are floating around these days, establishing culpability. So those instances. But in terms of the justice system, once again, making reference to their responsibility, their duty, if they seen it, if they saw the video and failed to act on it in an appropriate manner, they should be held accountable as well.
Well, there's one
Mark,
thing
what happens to the league, though, if this is indeed true? That's going to... That's for the league. I mean, how can you, if they say they didn't see it and there's evidence that they did see it, this is not good news for the league. I don't know how they would handle that, how they would recover from it.
Well, recovering will be difficult. This will be a major crisis. This will make Donald Sterling look like small potatoes because in Donald Sterling's case, you had a rogue actor who was being policed by a league that we still have a fundamental sense of trust in. But if the people who are supposed to be policing the bad guys, in this case the NFL, the owners, and of course the commissioner, are also bad actors, they're also acting in bad faith, and they also cannot be trusted, then we have no faith in the league itself. Roger Goodell should resign at 9:01 tomorrow morning. I thought that before I heard this and before Allison gave this breaking news bit. I said I didn't believe it. It smelled bad all day. It's obvious that the NFL has been lying about this. I guarantee you there's going to be some written communication that proves that they saw the video, and Roger Goodell must resign, and the NFL must spend the next God knows how many years trying to recover a whole lot of damage from a whole lot of damage.
You know what's interesting, Van, is that if the NFL says, well, we didn't see it. So let me be very clear that Harvey Levin says that they're going to release information tomorrow morning that the NFL knew about this video. So if the NFL and Roger Goodell sort of were willfully blind to demanding to see this video, does that change anything?
Well, I think what we have to see what they have tomorrow, but here's the reality. They were very strong. They said they did not see it. They had no access to it. If it turns out that's not true, this is a nuclear bombshell. This is going to be, heads will be rolling. We're speculating right now about tomorrow. Here's something we don't have to speculate about. 62% of all African-American women who are killed by someone they know. 92% of the time in those situations, it is a boyfriend, a husband, or an ex-lover of some kind. So this is a very serious problem. It goes beyond just this one incident. This is a very serious problem for women of color, and we've got to make sure, even as we try to figure out what we don't know, what we do know is this has to be taken much more